Good evening everyone, welcome from Dynamic Health. So today let's have a session on UGC NET paper 1, a complete syllabus explanation, and this syllabus is updated from 2019 onwards for all subject under arts, social sciences and humanities. So those who are preparing for UGC NET exam should follow this syllabus, and it will be very useful. Once if you understand the syllabus, then studying into the paper is very easy. So, and there is no negative marks for UGC NET exam, so everyone should attempt all the questions without fail. And there are totally 50 numbers of questions from first paper and 100 from your core subjects, and each questions carry 2 marks. Totally the UGC NET exam is for 300 marks, and for qualifying the UGC NET exam, minimum you should possess 40% of marks in first paper and 40% of marks in second paper. That is, you should have correct questions like 20 questions in paper 1 and 40 questions in paper 2. And later on, clearing UGC NET and JRF is based on cutoff marks are top 6 percentages. So, but the minimum qualification is you need to clear 20 questions in paper 1 and 40 questions in paper 2. Let's have a deep discussion in our syllabus. And there are totally 10 modules in UGC paper 1. UGC NET paper 1, this is common for all. So, but the questions may differ for each subjects at the time of exam. So, the person who are writing history will have one sort of question, and person who are writing geography and economics will have another sort of question. So questions won't be same in the exam, but the pattern and the syllabus will be common for all. So, and this is the major topics that we are going to cover, like teaching aptitude, research aptitude, comprehension, communication, mathematical reasoning and aptitude, logical reasoning, data interpretation, information communication technology, development, people development and environment, and finally higher education system. So, and the UG's main objectives is to assess the teaching and research capabilities of the candidates, and this test aims at assessing the teaching and research aptitude as well. Candidates are expected to possess and exhibit cognitive abilities which include comprehension, analysis, evaluation, understanding the structure of arguments, deductive and inductive reasoning. The candidates are also expected to have a general awareness about teaching and learning processes in higher education system. Further, they should be aware of interaction between people, environment, natural resources, and their impact on the quality of life. So each and every unit will have its own significance. So everyone should understand this syllabus first and then understand the subject. So then only it will be easier to clear UGC NET exam, because if you mug up the questions for paper 1 means it won't be applicable for at the time of exam. But why means this is purely based on understanding about your cognitive skill only. So presence of mind and your cognitive skill will help you in clearing this UGC paper 1. So let's dive into the syllabus. And first thing is teaching aptitude. This teaching aptitude includes the concept of teaching, objectives, the level of teaching, characteristics and the basic requirements for teaching, like the traditional and modern teaching equipments and those things. And learners characteristics, like you need to understand the students level of psychology, like the students in adolescent age, adult learners and childhood behavior you need to understand. Then characteristics of adolescents and adult learners and individual differences you need to understand, and this is based on student-centric education. So you need to understand the psychology of the learners. Then factors affecting the teaching, including related to teachers, learners, support materials, instructional facilities, learning environment and institutions. So these things you need to understand under teaching aptitude. And then the method of teaching in institution of higher education learning, like teacher centered versus learner centered methods, and offline versus online methods, and teaching support system, traditional, modern and ICT based. Then evaluation system, like elements and types of evaluation in choice based credit system in higher education system. and then computer based testing, innovation in evaluation system. If these things are included in assessment, how you are evaluating the students by grading the marks, and choice based credit system is what we have practiced in our higher education or in our degrees, that we have crossed this choice based credit system. And teaching aptitude will be easier once if you are empathetic, like you need to feel that you are a student, so what you need from a teacher, what you need from a good teacher, if you feel in that place, then teaching aptitude will be an easier unit that you can secure easy 10 marks. So then next topic is research aptitude. Once if you clear UGC NET and UGC JRF, then you need to go to a PhD. Then UGC will grant you a stipend of rupees 37,000 plus HRA as a JRF, and 42,000 plus HRA for your SRF fellowship. So once if you are diving into your research career or PhD career, you need to know some basic research ethics and research aptitude things. So before that, if you are learning in your UGC NET exam, it will be used for your research life as well. And some of the students, those who are studying started their PhD career and they need to clear UGC NET, means just understand what is research, okay, then it will be easier for your exam and as well as your PhD life. So the topics under research aptitude are meanings of research, types of research, characteristics of research, then positivism and post-positivistic approach to research, then methods of research like experimental, descriptive, historical, qualitative and quantitative methods, then steps of research, then thesis and article writing, that format and style of referencing, like APA format, APA 7th edition is recent, and then MLA format, those are referencing style, so you need to understand those referencing styles. Then application of ICT in research and the kind of softwares that you can use, like Research Rapid and Academia and Scopus Search. Those things are applications of ICT in research that will helpful for your research career. Then finally, research ethics. That is a basic thing that you need to be a research scholar. You need to understand the research ethics. That is the most important topic in research aptitude. Then the third unit is comprehension, and in comprehension there will be a passage given, and from that passage there will be 5 questions will be asked, so you need to be answer those things. And in some exam it will be very easier, and in some exam it will be trickier, so you need to be get ready for a trickier questions. So then only it will be easier for your exam. So it is an easy 10 marks unit. So but don't believe that each unit will possess 5 questions. So but UGC said each unit will have 5 questions, but that is not true in all cases. Some unit will have more than 5 questions and some unit have lesser than 5 questions, so be ready for everything. And the fourth unit is communication, and inside the communication you need to learn about the meaning of communication, types and characteristics of communication, then effective communication like verbal and non-verbal, intercultural and group communication, and also the classroom communication as well. And then you need to know about barriers to effective communication, and finally the mass media and society that helps in communication, that you need to understand in communication. So the fifth unit of paper 1 is mathematical reasoning and aptitude, and inside this unit you have types of reasoning, number series, letter series, codes and relationship. Mathematical aptitude includes fractions, time and distance, ratios, proportions and percentages, profit and loss questions, and interest and discounting, averages, etc. These questions will be will not be so tricky, but you need to understand the basic mathematics to attend these questions. It will be an easier 10 mark unit. And the sixth and tougher unit is logical reasoning. For many of the students, many will omit this unit, but my personal suggestion is you should not omit any of the unit or any of the topic, because every time if you feel this is tougher, but by chance it will be an easier questions for your set or your batch. So you should try to understand some of the topics, important topics in these units. So we will have a class sessions on every and each unit and each topics in our following classes. So inside the logical reasoning, you need to understand the structure of arguments, like argument forms, structure and categorical proportions, mood and figures, formal and informal fallacies, then uses of languages, connotations and denotation of terms, classical square of opposition. Those will be there in logical reasoning. Then evaluating and distinguishing deductive and inductive reasoning. Then analogies, Venn diagrams, simple and multiple use for establishing validity of arguments, Indian logic means of knowledge. Then pramanas, like some Sanskrit words will be there. Then those are perception, inference, comparison, verbal testimony, implication and non-apprehension. Then structure and kinds of anumana, like inferences, invariable relationship. Then fallacies of inference. Those will be a trickier questions for logical reasoning students will face, but in our classes we will try to simplify these brahmanas and the kind of anumanas, so it will be easier for your UGC NET exams. At least you need to score 4 out of 5 questions in logical reasoning. That will be helpful for your cutoff, final cutoffs. So the seventh and most easiest unit is data interpretation, that you need to interpret the data, and inside this data interpretation you have sources, acquisition and classification of data, quantitative and qualitative data, then graphical representation like bar graph, histogram, pie chart, table chart and line chart, and mapping data. Data interpretation and data and governance. In this unit you will given a bar graph or a histogram or a pie chart. Then 5 questions will be asked from that pie chart and that histogram. You need to first clear that pie chart quiz, and then you need to attend those 5 questions. Then it will be easier for you. So it will be easier, but don't think that a chart and 5 questions will be there. But in some cases there will be some questions and answer will also be there. Mostly it is, obviously it is MCQ, but you need to be ready for all kind of questions in data interpretation. Then the 8th unit is information communication technology, that is ICT. Inside this ICT you need to know about general abbreviation and terminologies of ICT, and basics of internet, intranet, email, audio and video conferencing, digital initiatives in higher education. Then ICT and governance, and those things you need to learn in ICT. And you should also know how ICT was helpful in research and also in teaching skills. So as we have discussed in our teaching aptitude and research aptitude, we need to know about ICT and you need to correlate it with research and teaching. Okay. And then 9th unit and the larger unit is people, development and environment. In this unit you need to mostly cover the current affair or current trends in current world summits. Those things you need to cover. So day-to-day reading of newspaper will helpful for you to clear this 10 marks. So inside people, development and environment, we have development and environment, millennium development goals and sustainable development goals. That 17 goals will be there. So it is aimed to be achieved by 2030. So you need to know all these sustainable development goals by United Nations. And you need to know about human and environment interactions, anthropogenic activities and their impacts on environment. Then environmental issues like local, regional and global air pollution, water pollution, soil pollution, noise pollution, and then waste pollution also you need to understand. Then climate change and its socio-economic and political dimensions, how political is playing behind the climate change and the socio-economic problems. Then impacts of pollutants on human health also it will be under people, development and environmental module. Then natural and energy resources like solar, wind, soil and hydro, geothermal, then biomass and nuclear and forest resources will also be there. So it is general GK unit. And then natural hazard and disaster mitigation strategies also you need to know. Then finally some of the Indian Act, not only listed in this unit but also you need to know about some Environmental Protection Act you need to know, like Environmental Protection Act of 1986, then National Action Plan on Climate Change, international agreements, efforts, Montreal Protocol, Rio Summit, Convention on Biodiversity, Kyoto Protocol, Paris Agreement, International Solar Alliances will also be there. So you need to know all these topics in this. And then higher education. In this unit, you need to know about institutions of higher education learning and education in ancient India. And you need to know about the contemporary of Indian education, how Indian education has evolved through the time. So inside this evaluation of higher learning and research in post-independence India, Oriental conventional and non-conventional learning programs in India, then professional technical skill based education, and you need to know about value education and environmental education, then policies, governance and administration. Including this, you need to know about the state and central government institutes, that is research institutes, and also you need to know about state universities, central universities, and when they have established and how they are running, and you need to know about how it is related to education and how it is related with the world standards. Those things also you need to know in higher education system. And that's it. These are all the 10 modules that we have for our UGC NET paper 1 general paper. So everyone, all arts, social sciences and humanities students should learn these units without fail, and it's an easy 50 marks, 50 questions, so you can secure easily 100 marks in this paper 1. So it will be helpful for your helpful for you to increase your cutoff at the final time. So everyone, just follow our YouTube channel Dynamic Earth, and if you have any queries, just mail us. Our team will respond to you. And we have a Telegram channel, in that we will post daily questions and quizzes in paper 1 and paper 2 as well. So kindly join our YouTube channel and Telegram group. Thank you. All the best.